You're watching the first lesson on volume. In this lesson, we'll just quickly go over what volume is and what it means. So, here we have a picture of a rectangular prism, and we have the width, the length, and the height. These three factors are very important when calculating volume. So, what is volume? Well, volume is to 3D shapes as area is to 2D shapes, right? Area, when you have a square or a circle or a rectangle, the area is the space that 2D shape takes up. Well, volume is the space a 3D shape takes up. It's how much space this shape takes up. So that's volume. How do we find volume? Well, if we look at this rectangular prism here, we can look at the base. So if you take a 2D shape, this rectangular shape here, we can find the area, right? That's easy. We've done this since grade 5. We can find the area of this rectangle right here. This is 6 by 3. That's 6 by 3. So this rectangle is the same as this bottom rectangle. Well, by doing 6 times 3, I find the area of this whole rectangle, which gives us 18 centimeters squared. But that's just the area of the base, right? So we had length times width in this case gave us the area of the base. Well, now that we have the area of the base is calculated as it's stretched upwards, right? When you look at a 3D object, it's this rectangle stretched all the way up. Well, how far is it stretched up? It's stretched up by 4 centimeters. So you take this 18 centimeters squared base and you stretch it up by 4 centimeters. So if we multiply the area of the base by the height we stretched the base, we get the volume. So we take the 18, which is 6 times 3, which is the area of the base. We stretched it up 4 centimeters, so we multiply that by 4, right? We multiply that by 4, that gives us an area of 72 centimeters cubed, right? An area of 72 centimeters cubed because we did 6 times 3, which gave us 18, right? We have that 18 here, right? And we stretched it up 4 centimeters. We stretched it up the height, which is 4. So we multiply it by 4, which gives us 72 centimeters cubed. And that's also very important, right? You want to have your cubed in there because it's three-dimensional. So area versus volume. You may have noticed that area is centimeters squared or meters squared or whatever squared, right? And volume is centimeters cubed, meters cubed, or whatever cubed. This matters. If you give the answer in the wrong unit, it is incorrect, right? If you say the volume, in this case, the volume was 72 centimeters squared, you're giving me an area, not a volume, right? That little 2 is telling you you're working with a 2D shape. That's why this was here. It's two-dimensional, so it's 18 centimeters squared. Here we have a three-dimensional shape, and we're dealing with volume, which is only for three-dimensional shapes. So we have the 3 there. And that's why that's important. It tells you that you're doing volume and not area. Now, why would I mark that incorrect? Or why am I being so mean? Well, the reason why is if you were a designer, if you were an architect, if you were someone designing something, you need to make sure you're noting that you're calculating area or volume, right, by using these little superscripts. And if you don't, then someone reading it may not know you're giving the volume or you're giving the area, and that can cause mistakes. So, we already talked about this. Why are the units squared? Because this is 2D. Why is it volume cubed? Because this is 3D, and that's basically it. So, practice these questions on your own. Try and find the volume of each of these. Now, I give you the area of the base of each of these shapes. I want you to find the volume of them. And then afterwards, practice these questions. These questions are challenging, but they will test your knowledge on volume and help you understand it better. This was a short lesson, but thank you for listening, and I'll see you next lesson.